Hello there everybody, welcome to a new video. Today we are doing a manga review. We are reviewing a manga called My Lovesick Life as a 90's Otaku. Being an otaku back in the 90's was a different vibe than being an otaku today. A big example of said difference is how widely accepted it is to be open about one's love for anime, manga, video games, and overall anything nerdy. I wasn't born in the 90's myself and only got into anime and manga at the age of 14 in the year 2015, so I didn't experience such treatment that others may have had back then. Some of you may have though. You may have your own stories about how people treated you once they found out about your love for things that are nerdy back in the 90's. Megumi Sato is a 46-year-old single mother who used to be an otaku in the year 1995. One day in 2021, when realizing just how big anime and manga has blown up in mainstream, Megumi found herself frazzled by it, even in disbelief. Even more so when her 16-year-old daughter, Sakura Sato, leaves the house that day to go to school, donning her own otaku merch. It was then we see that she reminisced about her days as an otaku in the 90's, when she was her daughter's age. And that is how the first chapter starts off. The manga came out in 2021, ending its run in 2023 with a total of 4 volumes and 19 chapters. It was written by Nico Nicholson. My Lovesick Life as a 90's Otaku has been given a rating of 7.28 stars on my manga list. Upon reading the first volume, it gives the introduction of Megumi to her new school. Megumi tries to hide her otaku self as to not repeat what happened in her old school. However, she kind of slipped up when she did a cringy introduction. So far, I have enjoyed the first volume as well as the small twist in the middle of the volume regarding to Megumi's pen pal. My favorite character in the series by far is Michiko Okochi, as she makes me laugh with her dramatic outbursts, and I actually do love the advice that she gives Megumi, and she does try in her own way make Megumi understand that despite what people say, loving what you love and being who you are is not wrong or shameful. Upon reading the second volume, I can understand why Masamune, the main lead, hates otakus. It ties to his parents, specifically his mother. She's neglectful, doesn't seem to care that her children are struggling, and would use the money that was saved by Masamune for her obsession. Having hobbies such as anime, manga, cosplay, and video games are fine, but if it gets to the point to where you are putting not only yourself in a bad situation, but your own family in it, simply because you couldn't help yourself with the obsession, is where I feel you need some help. You would spend every last penny you have on these things to give you that small boost of serotonin. Masamune himself is working a job. He is class president. He cooks, cleans, and even picks up his siblings from school in a car seat on his bike because he knows his mother will never step up to do it. In chapter 6, the mother laughs about the situation to a customer from the bar that she owns. That part is just very sad and infuriating. Masamune has to grow up so fast despite still being a child himself, simply because his mother has this unhealthy addiction with nerdy media. It is also revealed in this volume where he is having suspicions that Megumi is an otaku, and after he does think about it, he does tell her that if she is one, he can deal with it. He is willing to meet her in the middle despite his feelings about otakus. Now, when it comes to the third volume, I still don't like Masamune's mother, but it gives you the insight of how Masamune's father left. I give credit for her trying to be a mother, but in the end of the flashback that we see, she retreats to anime while Masamune, who was still very young, not even a teenager yet, he tends to his newborn sibling. While I do feel sad and empathetic for the situation that she had dealt with simply because Masamune's father left, it's the fact that she continues on to have 7 children and goes back to her neglectful habits the second she feels that stress, that pressure onto her, she just goes back to her old ways. The other thing that happens in the volume is regarding to Megami's pen pal Yui. Megami discovers who Yui really is. And it also centers around Masumene's sibling's birthday. Now his mother does try to step up to this by trying to bake a cake, and she does try. But when the cake turned out flat and the cream not turning out right, she went to the store to get some new ingredients. At the store, she ran into the landlord, and there was a confrontation going on regarding the family being behind on rent by 3 months. And so right then and there, the landlord took the money, all of the money his mother had in the store, and so she came to the party empty-handed, and she went back to her old ways. I give her credit for trying and for remembering what kind of cake her child likes, but she should have just been honest to Masamune about the situation and should have tried something else. And on to the final volume, which I believe is my favorite so far. At the party, it showed that Masamune found Megami's doujinshis that she got. So she distanced herself from him, and as a result, despite both acknowledging that they have feelings for each other, they stopped talking and moved on with the rest of their high school lives. Then it cuts to the present. We are shown that Megami met her ex-husband at work, and he left her after the daughter was born because he found out that Megami was an otaku. Also revealed that Masamune grew up and had a child, but he was also divorced. His wife left him after she had an affair because she felt like she wasn't getting enough attention. When it came to the relationship with his family, he actually waited until the youngest grew up before he left them before he got married. When the leads reconnected, we are also told that he was depressed. And while I believe, from what I remember, it didn't say outright that he was depressed, it was shown constantly worrying about making his son happy and not neglected, but his home life, his apartment, his car were filthy, filled with trash. When Megami came over, she helped clean up the apartment. It was clear to see that they both regret how things ended the way it did. So one day, they confessed that back then they liked each other, and slowly from then on, they began to heal. The manga ends with a scene of both kids coming up to their respective parents and confess that they have started dating each other. This manga was a roller coaster for sure. In the end, I felt like they got the ending they deserved. While Megami and Masamune aren't together like I hope they would, they got the ending they deserved because they actually talked about it. They talked about their feelings, and they understand each other now. My Lovesick Life as an 90's Otaku was an amazing romantic comedy, and while it was frustrating to see Megami push Masamune away so many times, I am glad that in the end she decided to be honest. The manga gets a 10 out of 10, and if you are interested in these things and hey, maybe it could be nostalgic for you, you could relate to Megami's feelings if you grew up in the 90's as an otaku. You will definitely like this for your collection. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and I hope you guys do enjoy it. Please comment down for more and like and subscribe.